Good morning everyone, we're in Warsaw. We just seen the change of the soldiers at the grave of the unknown soldier here in Warsaw. They do that normally every hour. It was right on 10 o'clock when they made the change, so I guess they do it every hour. Now I'm going to the old part of the town to see some more palaces and buildings, so join me and let's see what we can find. And right now we are just on the square right in front of the tomb of the unknown soldier, and you see on the left and the right sides there is some construction starting or going on, because back in the days before World War II and a bit of during it, there was a castle on both sides, so one on the left and one on the right side, and now they decided to actually start and rebuild it. So maybe in 10-15 years, maybe 20 years from now, there will be two new palaces to this square. They look a bit the same like before, but also with some new features and some new additions to it. So pretty excited to see that happening, and maybe if I come back in 20 or 30 years to see these palaces. And here we are on a random bridge over the Vistula river, the same river as we had in Krakow. The river is about 1,068 kilometers long. It goes through major cities before it enters the sea. But the river is not used for commercial shipping, because, and especially over here, it's way too shallow to run some big boats in, so that's why you only see some pleasure boats or some like boats docked along the side. And over there we have the Museum of Science. Looks like a nice building, and then all the big buildings over there. The one on the left, the biggest one, I hope to climb tomorrow. Well, not actually climb, but just get in an elevator and go to the top, because there is a 360 panoramic view from what I've seen online, and I hope to get a good view of the city, of the surroundings, and I'm gonna take you guys with me along that journey as well. And over here we have the Warsaw Uprising Monument. So this and that all together for the uprising in 1944, so during the Second World War. And right on the other side of the small little square over here we have the church. Well, it's not a church, it's a cathedral, the field cathedral for the Polish army, and right in front of it there are cars parked right now, but you see like the blades of an engine of an airplane, and also an anchor for a boat, and all the ceremonies from the army that involve a cathedral are held over there. The uprising of the Poles started on the 1st of August 1944. They were uprising to try and recounter or retake their city from the Nazis. They tried and tried and tried, but after 2 months of heavy battle, the last Polish resistance forces had to occupy to the Nazis, to the Germans. They lost. During those 2 heavy months of battling, a lot of people lost their lives. A lot of people lost their homes and lost everything they had. The people had to seek shelter in shelters underground and all kinds of structures underground. A lot of people died just through that alone, and a lot of people were executed afterwards. A lot of Poles were moved to labor camps in the whole of Germany. So yeah, you see, history is not as beautiful as it might seem. Good morning everybody, and welcome to another day. This is the presidential palace here in Warsaw, and if you want to pass by or walk by the street Sunday morning at about 8:15 is the ideal time to do it, because yesterday I was here at around 3 o'clock and things were packed. So now I'm walking to the old town, the main square over there, to see what's going on over there. So let's find out. And over here we have the royal castle. The castle was built for the Polish kings to live in, but during the Second World War it was totally destroyed. So in 1971 they started the reconstruction, and it was finished totally in 1984, mostly by donations of the general people. They put some donation boxes on squares in random towns or here in Warsaw to collect money and valuables from people to fund the reconstruction of this massive royal castle. So right now it's a little over 50 years after they started the reconstruction of it, and I have to say it looks quite nice. Over there we have the old fortifications, the old city wall, that went around the whole, or almost the whole, of the old city, of the old town. Right now still quite a good portion of it is standing, but of course a whole piece of it is missing. And if you look at those houses over there in the distance, they are all looking very, very nice painted, very nice maintained. Of course, this is the city center right now. It is almost empty, but wait a few hours and this will be packed. And these are the fortifications. So you see pretty high walls to my right, a little bit lower to my left, and on the other side of that, so on the left side, there is what seems to be a place over there. Put some water, like a ditch with water for the first obstacle before the invading troops are able to enter the city, if they even make it this far. Because if you look at all of this, they should get a pretty good view to keep the invading forces, keep the invading army out of the city. So over here you see what I mentioned, is that this is the ideal place to just fill with water and to, just like that, have the first natural obstacle that an invading force has to overcome to be able to get to the city. And on Google Maps I found the name Barbican. I don't know if that's still, or if that's only this part of the fortifications that's called like that, or if it's the whole of the fortifications that are called like that. But you see the view from over there. Thick walls, thick high walls, round shaped. And over here we're just at a random square in the old town. But what catches my attention is that all the houses, or at least the majority of it, have some paintings, like some images on the front. This is one with all wild animals, some wild pigs, some bears, and many other things. This is something you see all around the world in big cities, that around a certain square they have houses with images of certain things, like wild animals. Maybe it's from a hunting community, or if it are just like a sheep and a cow, it's maybe from the butchers. The one over there on top has some ships, so maybe that's from a shipping merchantry, from some shipping corporation. And everywhere you look you see certain images. So I guess back in the days that it really had a meaning to who it was from, who owned it, or what kind of business you could do in these places. But pretty nice to see that it is something that comes back in cities all around the world. Just those little images on the facade of certain houses on a certain square in the old part of town. Over there we have the Palace of Culture and Science, a nice old building, and to my left we have the Museum of Modern Art. Two very different buildings just in front of each other. I like this one the most, not not the one on the left. The one on the right is gives a certain vibe. It's one of the highest buildings of Poland. You can go to the viewpoint on top, but I'm going to a different building, to a different viewpoint, which is even higher.
No, perché se guardi qua in mezzo, vedi
No, mi ciepło to ten super. Ale sobie poda się
Sì, beh, un'altra roba.
Boczne, w zasadzie ucięte tu, no bo już nie idzie dalej, nie idzie szerzej. I cały tak po środku, że
Devi alzarlo
ma słowa się pozbędziemy.
parte che non ha. Penso. Così?
No,